All right, guys, another mind-opening and raising awareness video for this Christmas Eve holiday. Yeah, well, I'm always on holiday, so I reject the New World Order and all their throws. But so, hot topic is this whole idea of EctoLife, the birthing pods for the new millennials. Yes. They say that there's going to be population decline. We know why. There's so many reasons why. I mean, GMOs in the food and all that, because that's actually going to prevent people from reproducing. And so, once again, problem, reaction, solution. They're going to create a solution for every problem that they create. And again, getting back to the four elements in the yin and yang principle, we will know how to repopulate the earth and rebalance all of nature by natural means, because you are what you eat. Eat natural things from the earth, you will have a natural body, and quite possibly reverse a lot of the things that have been done to your body, because your body's always trying to reach a part of stasis to where it's a perfect harmony with itself and nature. But since they keep pumping us full of stuff and they keep spraying over our heads and, constantly bombarding us with harmful frequencies, is going to have an effect on not only our physical bodies, but our spiritual ones as well. They're already, doing away with the spirituality in people by promoting all of the evil things in the world and all the atrocities and the materialism and the science. It's all based in the material world. And it refuses to touch upon the spiritual, because then people would awaken and realize that the world wasn't really meant to have rulers or governments. The people are supposed to govern themselves, and that's what we lost in the Golden Age. But what we have here is a whole nother level of, yes, artificial intelligence is rising. The rise of the machines is coming, and it's already been planted as seeds in our world. That's all they're doing, is planting seeds for the future. There is someone else controlling all of this that lives for thousands of years, y'all. We just have yet to find out who or what these entities are. I believe we will be knowing in the near future, but on with the show. Okay. So this article is the dystopian and soulless birthing pods of the EctoLife artificial womb facility is like watching the Matrix come to life before our very eyes. Now, the Matrix, as we know in movies, they're always doing predictive programming, because they're basically telling us their intentions, and our silence is our consent, even in the moment that we watch these TV shows and things. When we're watching a new movie or a new series, whatever it is, if it's anything to do with their world, we have to state outwardly and inwardly that we do not consent, and then continue watching the show, and then say you don't consent at the end, because your voice echoes through time and it goes into the etheric realm in places and dimensions you cannot see, because it's a light frequency. But that light frequency resonates with the main consciousness of all, or the collective consciousness, if you would. And it then will start to build in its own, because it's part of creation. Your words are like, it's like the road to creation, the sound frequencies. Now, they have done a real number on us. I'm sorry, I always get off on these tangents because my mind is fluid. They've done a real number on our language. And I'm working on collecting evidence of the Semitic languages and how they are holding the frequency of the proper lingo or tongue or word that we are supposed to be using. And they gave us garbled garbage to express as a language, to keep us from having the power within us. Once we get these divine frequencies, it's game on. And that's why they're in this mad scramble with all of these crazy ideas. So let's just look at this. There's some other things in Saudi Arabia, highly questionable, guys. We've got some entities. Saudi Arabia is another matter. Like, it's a whole nother story. And I believe that they have been working with these Germanic Jews or Jerusalem. Oh man, I'm on this stuff. I'm telling you, because there's something that we need to collect data on about Jerusalem, the Jews, Germanic, and also how they're interacting with Saudi Arabia and the Arabic nations. So, black magic, guys, black magic. Here we go. Dystopian soulless birthing pods of the EctoLife artificial womb facility is like watching the Matrix come to life before our very eyes. This was on December 12th, 2022 by Constitutional Nobody. The lab features transparent pods that mimic a mother's womb and grows babies inside the EctoLife artificial womb facility. Now, of course, we all remember the movie The Matrix. For those of you who don't know about it, Neo actually regains his consciousness. He is subsequently disconnected from the Borg, the machine mind. And when he emerges, he comes out of one of these adult-sized pods to then look around at all the other pods where everyone's plugged in. Yes, this is happening. This is now. So this is a scene where Neo is woken up from his slumber only to discover that he is functioning as a human battery in a pod inside a massive facility filled with pods, providing electricity for the aliens who have taken over. They're not aliens, they're machines. They are not aliens. There are no aliens. There's no space aliens. We've got to get a hold of this. It is the narrative for the new age, for people to grasp at straws, to try to, figure out what's going on in our world. But what they're doing is they're holding back, because that's going to be the new religion, the religioning of the mind. Keep that in mind right there, because the golden age and every other age subsequently before that never spoke of space aliens as in terms of what they are depicting, these other beings that are interacting with humans. I think we're in Yggdrasil, and I believe that it's a closed loop, basically. Maybe there's interconnecting worlds that we can get to in a straight line, in a linear fashion, across the ice wall or whatever, Arctic Circle. They call it a circle for a reason. All these things are coming to light, and if you watch enough channels, you'll see that the evidence is becoming more clear. That's why they're getting very desperate. As soon as they plant these seeds of change into the collective consciousness, we will then embrace it as, okay, now that the darkness is gone, because they're going to pretend to be gone from over us, these world governments, oh no, we don't need world government. We're just going to dissolve the governments, like they've already done parliament. You guys see my thing where they dissolved parliament recently? Yes, this is their plan, because they know once they plant the seeds and then step back, they've already set the trap. And we'll go, okay, the evil's gone in the world and everybody's got gold and everybody's happy because we got all this digital money, and it just self-perpetuates, and everybody's prosperous and everybody's receiving, and it's a golden age again. No. No, it's going to be another 1,000 years, because whoever's in charge lives for thousands of years. So a day to us is like a second to them, and 1,000 years to us. Of course, we're going to be coming and going, and they are going to be like having maybe a half day or something in 1,000 years. Maybe not even that, maybe an hour. I don't know. There's weird stuff about the time in our world too. But there's things going on that we are not aware of, and we are being used as puppets But if you're good at being a player in this game and you're open to receiving all kinds of information, all kinds, you can start to collect the data that you need that then creates the story. That's the undercurrent of our world. And once you're privy to that and you've actually removed your own ego, like as much as you can, to get to the heart and to ground yourself in your heart and in nature, most importantly, with the earth, the divine mother, that's when you can know things as opposed to just guessing that you know things. Because the divine mother and all of creation will begin speaking to you in ways that you can't imagine because you're tapped in. And I am not the foremost authority on anything, but I know that I've found some sort of link. And that connectivity of shunning the material world, shunning it, like I am not interested in going out here and participating in this materialism of what they call Christmas, Christos, Mass. You know, they're in Mass, they are pretending to evolve with the Christos, the Christ oil. But that's not what they're doing. They're perpetuating their money machine. It's a monetary system, and they own it and control it. And we're at war around the world with this whole notion of the light and the dark, who's trying to gain the upper hand over the age of Aquarius, because we're the prize, basically, because we are the puppets. We are the little slaves that go around inciting wars, fighting each other to take over land for these other beings, whatever they are, be they spirit, be they dark elves, be they giants, dwarves. I have no idea. Someone in the world knows, though. And we need that information so that we can then go, aha, there you are. But that's what they do, is they try to hide from any and all information, which we already know they've been hiding the giant bones. Why? Because they don't want us to know about the giants who actually control the world, who are actually pulling the strings. Somewhere in the world, these beings exist. Good factions, bad factions, because in all things you have duality. Where are they? Well, suspicion lies at the South Pole with the current giant reigning power on some video evidence that I've found. And I do believe it to be truthful because of what we're discovering about giants and how it's coming out as a huge narrative, along with Yggdrasil and other things. So this is just more little trinkets, that we can kind of mull over and see all these little gems. They're like little jewels or breadcrumbs to follow a trail. And we're going to find them, believe me, because we're on the hunt now. And we're like we're like tiny little wolves going, okay, where is this thing? I know it's here somewhere. Anyway, this is back to the show here. All right. So, he woke up in the facility with the pods and he saw that he was just a battery. Whew, glad that was just a movie. Hold the Bible. Welcome to the EctoLife artificial womb facility. This is where the movie ends and the end times begin. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That sounds almost like the notion of hybrids, because that's going to be the age of Capricorn, is going to be the rise of the hybrids. We do have hybrids around. And if you think your little custom dog isn't a hybrid, think again. Those little dogs and little animals that are miniature size now that we never saw growing up as children, but came about all of a sudden in the world, those came from a lab somewhere. Miniature horses, miniature dogs, miniature cats, everything. They've been splicing genetics and figuring out these codes on how to make these things work together with different animals. Yes, they're gaining the dark magical powers from Atlantis once more. They ran around the world after Atlantis fell, collecting all of the information that was subsequently lost from all the warring and stuff. But as they went around marching, taking over nations, they would then take over any sort of artifacts, any sort of museums. They would burn the library so we wouldn't know our history. And then they would rewrite the history for us to believe. Like the Wild Wild West is a complete wild lie. And that whole notion that people love, oh my gosh, Western, I hate's a strong word, but I disliked watching Westerns. It never resonated with me. I mean, watching horses is okay sometimes, but Wild Wild West stuff, I was never interested in it, even though my father would watch that stuff. And you would think growing up with a family who would watch Westerns, you would feel like, yeah, I love it. No, never. It never resonated with me. Why? I believe I came here to be the change for the world because I've never felt like I fit in. Even in society, even in high school, things of this nature, I have never fit in, and I feel like I'm invisible to most of society, which is a very, very lonely place to be. But, I just march on with whatever this purpose is, to try to shed light on things. And what can I do? I can't change where I am, but I just find it's interesting now how invisible I truly am when I go out in a society. And I even try to interact with people. And it's almost like I'm kind of washed over most of the time. I assume, like today, I kind of had a revelation about that. And it was like going back to the Celestine prophecy and how these other races sort of phased out of existence because they changed their vibratory rate of light. It made sense to me that I'm not resonating at the frequency of most of the population. So it makes it a very, very extremely lonely place to be. But, I'm grateful for the friends that I do have that I've been connecting with because it's almost like a magnet is drawing people into my world because I'm resonating at this different frequency. And then, of course, my subscribers who have found me organically. And, obviously, birds of a feather. That whole saying of birds of a feather flock together. It's because we are clicking and resonating at a particular frequency, and something inside of us is drawing us together. This magnetic force, it's an invisible force that we cannot see, but it's drawing us closer to something. There has to be a pivotal moment for all of this. And I feel like we're on the cusp, and it will be revealed to us soon. In the near future, we will find some information that we are looking for that will satisfy our longing to find the truth. And then it's just going to be revealed. But in the meantime, the darkness is planting their seeds. They know that they have full control over this stuff because it's tied into their Borg system, and they own and operate all of the electric companies, all of the internet companies, every corporation, corpse oration. That's what corp oration means. It's a death cult that they operate. They are in command of it. So all they have to do is remove their presence, make it appear as though everything's great for us for just, short while, 1,000 years. That's no big time, for them, whoever they are. And then they'll start slowly coming back in, creeping back in, to then collect all of the souls in their trap. All of these things, these artificial intelligence things out here, are traps. And most people can't see it. We're giving away our free will the moment we click on I agree to your terms of service. The moment you go out and purchase a phone, a computer, a TV, any of that stuff, you have just given away your consent and your free will to this matrix of control. Why do I want to live in a third world country? Because most of those places do not have internet, or they barely have red lights in some places. So, I've been doing a little research online. I'm like, where can I go to just live out the rest of my days once we're kind of out of this great awakening phase, which I think will mostly see it kind of calm down after 2030. It's, a lot of stuff's going to be revealed by then. And by 2050, I think it's pretty much going to be null and void. Like, okay, we're here now. We've sort of plateaued, and now we've got all this great technology, and we got this new monetary system. And oh, by the way, yeah, we're not going to have our cars because they're going to start charging us a carbon tax for using the cars that they sold us. You see, problem, reaction, solution in every aspect of our lives. Every aspect. What do? We have to turn our back on their control. That will set us free from all of this. But we have to learn how to work together. And this is the missing link that we have not yet figured out, because most people are like, oh, I'm over here and I can't do anything. Yes, you can. Step into your power. What are you doing now? Well, let's just connect. Let's share. We have to share everything that we know in regards to health and wellness and food, growing food, taking care of animals. Listen, the whole notion of animals and eating them and stuff and harnessing them and trapping them, it's also part of the lie. Yes, we love animals as our friends, but why are we eating them? Would you eat your dog? Would you eat your cat? They do over in, some of these Asian countries, but would you do that in America? No. Then why would you eat your cow? Why would you eat your pig? What's the difference? Most people don't think about these things. They think, oh, no, well, we've always eaten that. No, guess what? It actually has an effect on your vibratory frequency that you emit from your body. I found another video in regards to that, and I think it's amazing what this guy put out 5 years ago. I'm going to share it with you guys. Anyhow, I know I am always getting off on these tangents, but again, my mind is fluid and my thoughts must be released. Otherwise, they just sort of disappear. And I feel like it's valuable information to share. We just need to work together. And, I'm one of those people. I am here trying to figure out what I can do immediately in my own physical environment. I'm one of those people that goes into a public place, restaurant, or a gas station or anything, and I see trash on the ground from where these other unconscious souls have just tossed their paper everywhere and expect someone else to clean up their mess. I throw it in the trash and I expect no recognition, because you know what? I want to be the change in the world, and I want to lead by example. So that's just the small things to get us prepared for the bigger things that come our way. I'm that person who has also, when I had AAA as a towing, aspect, I had 4 tows a year that I could do for my car. I would see people on the side of the road who were stranded and in need. And I would stop and I'd say, hey, are you okay? And they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. My car broke down and I don't really have the money for a tow. I'm like, hey, look, I've got 4 of these. You can have one. and I'll wait here until the driver gets here. I'll use my card, and then he can take you wherever you need to go. I have done that. I've done that more than once. And I'm not a hero. I'm not trying to be a savior, but it's just an example of what we can do when we see people in need. Why can't we help them? And there's this older man. He was an elderly man in the checkout line about 3 weeks ago. His card, he had a new credit card or ATM card, and he was, trying to get the pin to work, and it wasn't working for him. And he was in front of me, and he had $70 worth of groceries, and I had $100 bill in my pocket that I always try to keep something like that in case of an emergency. And this guy's on the phone, I'm sure he's embarrassed, and he steps out of the line. He's like, I'm sorry, excuse me. And the cashier's just sitting there waiting patiently. And I just said, here's $100. Just pay for his groceries. She's like, are you sure? I was like, absolutely. I was like, you know what? Just pay for his groceries. And she goes, okay. That man, when he gets off the phone, he goes, oh my gosh. He's like, oh, I can't believe you just paid for that. And I was like, why not? I mean, I had it. Why couldn't I? I'm not rich, but I had it in my pocket. And so he goes, oh my gosh, well, here, let me pay for yours. And mine were like $50, and it's not apples and oranges, but he paid me back, because he was very appreciative. He's like, thank you so much. He's like, I've never had anybody do that before. And, it astonished the cashier, but it's leading by example. Why can't we just do this? Why can't, if we have it, why can't we give it? If I had millions of dollars, I would just be like, okay, here. Oh, you need that? See them in need, see somebody in need, just like, oh, let me get that for you. Why not? We have a problem in this society. It's a sickness that we need to get back to the basics and the foundations of what it means to be human, humanitarian, or whatever terms they've come up with us, to try to decipher to whether it's a good or evil vibration is another matter. But to be loving, kind, compassionate, empathy is missing in our society. Real empathy. But I digress, it's only because I get frustrated looking at the world as it is, and how we've been sold, our minds have been sold into black magic of materialism. It's all black magic. To not care about the world that grants you life, about the nature of all around you that grants you your existence, and yet you neglect it to the point where you just feel disassociated with it, like it's gross and it's nasty and it's disgusting. That's how we've been taught that bugs are disgusting. What bug has ultimate power over us? It might be a little frustrating having some ants in your house, or maybe a roach or flies. What power do they have over us? Really? I mean, do we have the power to show compassion to these beings that have lost their way? Yes, absolutely. So why are we trying to assault them with poisonous materials that are then in turn poisoning ourselves and our environment? This is the kind of thinking. This is the level where I am. Call it Buddhism or whatever. I don't have labels for it. I call it a love of life, because I am life. I am light, and you are too. You who take the time to watch this video, you are light too. Where are we in the world? Are we making a difference? This is the change that's going to be pushing away things like this EctoLife artificial womb facility. We have to raise awareness about what this actually means. People will be like questioning it. Maybe they'll go, what in the world? And they will feel some retraction from it. I guarantee you people will be like, oh, what is that? But now that this has been planted as a seed in the collective conscious, oh, it is absolutely going to come to fruition because it's already been used. Remember Dolly the sheep? Dolly the sheep was the artificially grown sheep in a big plastic bag womb thing. That was all a show, guys. Everything they show us after the fact is a show to be like, oh, look at this, sort of mundane creation of how to grow life. Yeah, they want you to think that it's very primitive and remedial, that they absolutely have this technology, this EctoLife stuff. They've been using this stuff underground. Anything that they bring out into the populace, into the public arena, means they've been working on it for 50 years or more. Remember cell phones? Remember all that stuff? Computers and cell phones, they had it in the military long before we ever got it in our little hands. Oh, yes, they have had the technology. We get their scraps, the things they don't need anymore. We need to be more aware of these things because they are dirty and we need to catch up. We got a lot of catching up to do because they're utilizing the star power against all of us. With the ley lines that are lined with these celestial bodies over our head that flicker and flash like lights on a screen, if you've ever seen a regular person record a star, you will know what I'm talking about. It's sound frequencies and it looks like it's in water with colors flashing through it. That's what the stars actually look like. So this whole lie that they're perpetuating about space being like Star Trek and Star Wars, no. Nope, they're lying. I know that there's a lot of people that won't believe that, but that's their journey to try to figure that one out. All right, let's just get on with this, and I'll try to stop being off on tangents about other things to think about in the world. Okay, what are you looking at here? You're looking at the fast-growing and most highly tech. I think it's funded. Most highly funded tech sector in the world today, biotechnology, what they referred to back in the 1970s as transhumanism. Here it is. The merging of man and machine is not just coming one day, it's already here with the majority of the planet right now functioning as a hybrid cyborgs. Exactly. They've already gotten our minds attached to the Borg through these digital means of video games, computers, cell phones, all that stuff. Do you go anywhere without your mobile device anymore? No? You sure don't, and I don't either. How about that iWatch or those Ray-Ban smart glasses? Is it Ray-Ban? It's probably Ray-Ban smart glasses. Or any of a dozen other cyborg products we cannot seem to live without. Hey, Alexa, ask Siri to open the app on my iPhone that runs my smart TV and get me directions for dinner. Oh, yeah, you're already there. See, I don't use Alexa. I don't use Siri. I use my phone to text and call people. Sometimes I go on the internet and watch videos. I use Pandora. But believe me, I don't have a whole lot of apps on my phone, and I am not sold into this digital world. If I could go somewhere where I didn't have to use a computer anymore, I'd be just fine. That's why I'm looking for my natural world with stones and nature. Yep, I want to find it, and when I find it, I am going to invest heavily in going there. The EctoLife artificial womb facility and birthing pods are stunningly like the movie The Matrix. From the Daily Mail, UK, a birthing facility that can grow up to 30,000 babies a year inside artificial wombs could solve the world's low birth rate. See, they're saying there's a low birth rate right now. Is there? Well, there's going to be one because of what they've put in the food for so long and what we've been eating. It actually has a generational effect. This is why there's no more seeds in your fruits and your vegetables, because they didn't want you to grow those things. They want to be the ones who control what you eat and how many babies you can have. And so you'll have to come to them as God. You know, you're going to go to them and be like, oh God, please let me have a child. Will you grow a child for me? This is what's coming, people. How can we stop this except to plant this in the collective and go, hey, this isn't right. This is completely. But guess what? After we're gone and then the children of today come up, they are going to be the ones who are going to be thinking about this kind of stuff. And if they don't do it, their children then will be in another world, you know, where there's more technology surrounding them. And they'll be like, oh no, this is cool. What a great way. I don't have to have a baby. Sweet. Let this artificial womb do it. And I don't have to go through all the suffering, pain and suffering of childbirth. Yes, people, it's coming. Elon Musk believes this is the most significant threat to human civilization, this whole low birth rate thing. Of course, it's Elon Musk because he sold out a long time ago, and I believe he has that chip in his brain already. That Starlink, Neuralink. Starlink is the upload system. It is the operating system for Neuralink. Neuralink is going to be the microchip that they put inside people's brains because people are going to think it's wonderful to be able to speak a foreign language, you know, from their mind. That will just know automatically, oh my gosh, I know all these languages. First, they start with the medical industry. Oh, wow. Look, we can help blind people see. We can cure dementia by using this microchip. And people will start using their elderly parents and otherwise relatives as guinea pigs to be like, oh yeah, why don't you do that? You should do this. And of course, a blind person will be like, I'd love to be able to see. Yes, this is how they sell us on their traps. Be mindful. This new concept video takes viewers on tour through the EctoLife artificial womb facility, where hundreds of fetuses sit in transparent pods that are temperature controlled and feature an umbilical cord to receive oxygen and nutrients. Hashim Al-Ghaili, a film producer and biotechnologist, created the lifelike film to start a conversation about such technologies that would allow women who had their uterus removed to give birth, reduce premature births, and combat population declines. You see this? Hashim. What does that tell you? Look at the names of these people who are involved with this. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? How a lot of the Hebrew language and names very similar to Arabic because they're all Semitic languages. Story for another day once I'm done collecting all the evidence on that. The process would use in vitro fertilization, allowing parents to choose the most viable and genetically superior embryo, which can also be genetically engineered to customize traits, including physical strength and eliminating inherited diseases. While the video is a concept, Al-Ghaili said it is based on 50 years of groundbreaking scientific research conducted by researchers worldwide, and such birthing pods could be widespread in just decades from now. They're already using them underground. The video plays like a commercial for EctoLife, which allows infertile couples to conceive a baby. The facility features 75 labs, each with up to 400 growth pods designed to replicate the real-life conditions of the mother's womb and includes sensors that monitor the baby's vitals. The delivery process requires parents to push a button on the pod. Wow. The amniotic fluid is drained from inside and the artificial womb opens, allowing parents to hold their baby for the first time. The delivery process requires parents to push a button. Why does that remind me of a casino? Ding, 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 ding. You're a winner. Oh my gosh. How much can we really buy from these people? With the way society is, it will not surprise me because they have embraced the darkness all around, the material life, the materialism, sold their souls, bought into false idols. It's a mess in the world when you truly see what we're supposed to be doing and what we are doing. Waking up from the matrix is like watching a nightmare all around you. And you're just lost going, oh my gosh, I am Neo in the Matrix. What do I do? Well, gotta become spirit and get into the machine and then say, nope, you will no longer affect me and my world because I do not accept you and yours. So that's a line. It's basically telling you that the willpower is what Neo attained to combat that artificial world. And we have to find the willpower within us to also combat it. The video, which looks like a scene from the 1999 film The Matrix, is just a concept for now, but it could be used in the future as the world is facing a population decline. Yeah, by design. Here it is. All right, let's watch the video. I'm probably going to change the audio on this. Let's watch this video.
Introducing EctoLife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. EctoLife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With EctoLife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. EctoLife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year. EctoLife allows your baby to develop in an infection-free environment. The pods are made of materials that prevent germs from sticking to their surfaces. Every growth pod features sensors that can monitor your baby's vital signs, including heartbeat, temperature, blood pressure, breathing rate, and oxygen saturation. The artificial intelligence-based system also monitors the physical features of your baby and reports any potential genetic abnormalities. The pods are equipped with a screen that displays real-time data on the developmental progress of your baby. These data are sent directly to your phone so you can track your baby's health from the comfort of your zone. The app also provides you with a high-resolution live view of your baby's development. A special section in the app allows you to watch a time-lapse of your baby's growth and share it directly with your loved ones. Because babies can recognize language and learn new words while still in the womb, EctoLife growth pods feature internal speakers that play a wide range of words and music to your baby. Through the app, you can choose the playlist that your baby listens to. You can also directly sing to your baby and make them familiar with your voice before birth. Our goal is to provide you with an intelligent offspring that truly reflects your smart choices. EctoLife improves your bonding experience with your baby. Thanks to a 360 degrees camera that's fitted inside your baby's growth pod, you can use your virtual reality headset to explore what it's like to be in your baby's place. See what they see and hear what they hear. Using a wireless haptic suit connected to your baby's growth pod, you will be able to sense their kicks in the room and share this experience with your friends and family members. With EctoLife, your baby will receive the best nutrients that can support their growth. Each group of pods is connected to 2 central bioreactors. The first bioreactor contains nutrients and oxygen, which are supplied to your baby through an artificial umbilical cord. This bioreactor also contains a liquid solution that serves as the amniotic fluid that surrounds babies in the mother's uterus. It's rich of vital hormones, growth factors, and antibodies that sustain your baby's growth and development. Thanks to a system controlled by artificial intelligence, each baby receives custom nutrients tailored to their needs. The second bioreactor is designed to eliminate any waste products produced by the babies. The artificial umbilical cord helps the babies to release their waste products into the second bioreactor. With the help of a delicate layer of engineered enzymes, the second bioreactor can then recycle waste products and turn them back into useful nutrients. This way, the facility ensures a steady and sustainable supply of fresh nutrients to your baby. With EctoLife, miscarriage and low sperm count are a thing of the past. Prior to placing the fertilized embryo of your baby inside the growth pod, in vitro fertilization is used to create and select the most viable and genetically superior embryo, giving your baby a chance to develop without any biological hurdles. And if you want your baby to stand out and have a brighter future, our Elite package offers you the opportunity to genetically engineer the embryo before implanting it into the artificial womb. Thanks to CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool, you can edit any trait of your baby through a wide range of over 300 genes. By genetically engineering a set of genes, the Elite package allows you to customize your baby's eye color, hair color, skin tone, physical strength, height, and level of intelligence. It also allows you to fix any inherited genetic diseases that are part of your family history so that your baby and their offspring will live a healthy, comfortable life, free of genetic diseases. Say goodbye to the pain of childbirth and birth-related muscle contractions. EctoLife provides you a safe, pain-free alternative that helps you deliver your baby without stress. The delivery process is smooth, convenient, and can be done with just a push of a button. After discharging the amniotic fluid from the artificial womb, you will be able to easily remove your baby from the growth pod. Everything is perfectly designed so you and your partner can enjoy the delivery process. To ensure full transparency, our post-delivery free DNA paternity test helps you confirm the genetic identity of your baby so you can return home knowing that your baby is genetically yours. You don't have to worry about power cuts or carbon footprint. EctoLife uses highly efficient, clean, renewable energy consisting of solar and wind power. The highly advanced pods operate with minimal energy needs, making it easy for your baby to make it to full term without any complications. And for those who want a more convenient solution, EctoLife is made accessible so your life can be easier. Thanks to our miniaturized bioreactors and long-lasting batteries, you can use EctoLife growth pods at the comfort of your home, allowing you to incubate your baby in your building without the need to visit our factory. By owning your special growth pod, you will have the ability to build a happy family, one baby at a time, away from any birth complications. The concept of EctoLife facility was designed by biotechnologist and science communicator Hashim Al-Ghaili. It relies on groundbreaking research work that has been conducted by scientists and engineers since 1950s. Tired of waiting for a response from an adoption agency? Unable to find a suitable surrogate mother? Worried about pregnancy complications? Worry no more, because EctoLife got you covered. EctoLife, reinventing evolution.
These people who invent this stuff are sick. The first thing that comes to mind is control. Are the babies who are even born from these pods, are they going to be able to have children of their own? You know, are they going to be able to reproduce? I don't think so. I think there's going to be some serious repercussions that come from this. When you look at this, how does it make you feel, you know? This to me is just like, it's the antithesis of life. Even though it's giving life, it's the Borg. And people who embrace this kind of thing, yeah, maybe they're going to consider themselves forward thinkers, but this is bait and switch. It's got bait and switch all over it. But, you know, the people who are not privy to the world are going to fall in this trap. Yeah, so here we go. Now the end begins, is your frontline defense against the rising tide of darkness in the last days before the rapture of the church. Yeah, this is Circe, rapture of Circe. What do they mean by rapture? Rapture means, you know, this overjoyous, overwhelming feeling of joy and amazement. But church is Kirky. Kirk, Circe. We've got to start raising more awareness. All right, well, that's one little tidbit for you guys to chew on. I'm sure some of you guys have already heard about this because you guys are on it. But we just need to get more and more awareness, open more minds somehow, some way, just to get the information out there. Collective conscience and all that. All right, well, I will see you guys on the next one.